Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum to all students. Today we are going to start our new chapter whose name is Acid, Bases and Salt. This whole chapter revolves around the different concepts of acids, bases and how salts are formed by acid and bases. So let's start this chapter. First of all, as you all know that acid and bases are a part of our daily life. Like we may come across many different compounds of acid and bases in our homes. So first of all, there is a basic difference between the acid and bases, that acids are sour in taste and bases are bitter in taste. And when we talk about the different indicators, all acids turns blue litmus red. Like whenever you dip the blue litmus paper in the acidic solution, it turns red, while bases turns the red litmus paper blue into the blue. And similarly, there is another indicator, that is methyl orange. Acids change its color to red, while bases change its color to yellow. Another indicator that is used in our titration, whenever we want to detect the unknown molarity of any other base or an acid, we use an phenolphthalein indicator, which remains colorless in acidic medium, while it gives pink color in bases. And all acids do not have a soapy touch, and bases do have the soapy touch, like the shampoos, hand wash, soap. All these are actually bases on nature. And then acids gives hydrogen in the solution, while the bases gives hydroxyl ion in the solution. So move towards the different concepts of acid and bases. Like different scientists gave their own opinion that how acid and bases can be defined. So first of all, we have a scientist whose name is Arrhenius, who defines the acid and bases. According to the Arrhenius, acid is a substance that produces hydrogen ion when dissolved in water. For example, HCl, whenever we dissolve it in the water, it gives hydrogen ion and chloride ions. So it is considered as an acid as it is producing a hydrogen ion. And bases are those substances that are producing hydroxide ion when they dissolve in the water. They must contain a hydroxyl group. As you can see over here, that there is an example of HCl and water, that it combines together and produces a hydronium ion. Hydronium ion and hydrogen ion, both are same thing. Like if you remove the water from the hydronium ion, it gives you a hydrogen ion. And chloride ions is also a product. So in this reaction, HCl is actually an acid because it is producing a hydrogen ion in water. It can also be written like this: HCl, whenever reacts with water, lone pair of oxygen forms a bond with the hydrogen ion and gives you a hydronium ion along with the chloride ion. These are some other examples of Arrhenius acid and bases, which includes HCl, hydrochloric acid, that is producing hydrogen ion. Similarly, nitric acid, that is also producing hydrogen ion, while the bases include sodium hydroxide or calcium hydroxide. Sodium is sodium along with the hydroxide ion is producing in sodium hydroxide. Similarly, there are two hydroxyl ions in calcium hydroxide. So these are all the examples of Arrhenius acids and bases. But there are some limitations of this concept. Limitations means the failures that Arrhenius concept can't explain. The first drawback is that it is only applicable to aqueous solution. What about the non-aqueous solution? This concept doesn't explain without water that either this is an acid or a base. Similarly, in the next point, it also doesn't explain why the compounds such as carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide are acids, as they have no hydrogen ion. Like, what about those compounds that do not contain hydrogen ion or hydroxide ion? Are they not acid or bases? They are acid and bases. They have acidic and basic nature. But Arrhenius concept was failed to explain their acidic and basic nature. In the third point, It also can't explain why ammonia is a base while it contains a hydrogen ion. Later on, you will get the answer of this question. That as the ammonia contains hydrogen ion, but it is actually a basic in nature. So Arrhenius concept was failed to explain these points. And so by considering these limitations, there was another concept, that is Bronsted-Lowry concept, in which there were two scientists, Jane Bronsted and Dame Lowry, gave another definition of acid and bases. According to them, acid is a proton donor and base is a proton acceptor. Proton means hydrogen ion. As you can see over here, that there is an example of acetic acid reaction with water giving acetate ion along the hydronium ion. As here acetic acid is giving its hydrogen ion to the water, and water is changing into the hydronium ion, and the acetic acid is changing into the acetate ion. So as acetic acid is donating a proton, donating a hydrogen ions, so it is a Bronsted acid, and water is accepting a hydrogen ion, so it is a Bronsted base. So all those compounds that are actually the donating a proton means they are acids, and all those that are accepting a protons means they are bases, according to this Bronsted-Lowry concept. So here is another example in which ammonia is reacting with water and forming ammonium ion plus hydroxide ion. First, for a forward reaction, as you can see over here, that ammonia is getting a hydrogen from this water and turning into the ammonium ion, and water is changing into the hydroxide ion. So in forward reaction, ammonia is a base, but water is a acid because it is donating a proton. But in the reverse reaction, ammonia is giving one of its hydrogen again to the hydroxide ions, and hydroxide ion are changing into the water, and ammonium ion is changing into the ammonia. So in the reverse reaction, ammonium ion is actually acid and hydroxide ion is actually base. As hydroxide ion is accepting a proton and ammonium ion is donating a proton. So this is an acid and hydroxide ion is a base. There are a few more examples, like hydrogen fluoride is reacting with water, producing a fluoride ion along with the hydronium ion. As hydrogen fluoride is donating its proton to the water and water is changing into the hydronium ion, so HF is an acid and water is a base. And the products that are formed after donating and accepting are known as conjugate base and conjugate acids. Like after donating, hydrogen fluoride is changing to the fluoride ion, and this fluoride ion is actually a conjugate base, and water after accepting a proton is changing into the hydronium ion, that was actually conjugate acid. Similarly, cyanide ion when react with water, it accepts a proton from the water and forms the hydrogen cyanide along with the hydroxide ion, as water is donating one of its proton. So cyanide ion is here a base and water is a acid. So these are all the examples of all the Bronsted acid and bases. But there are few substances that can behave as an acid and a base as well. That in some reaction, they are donating a proton, while in other reaction, they are accepting a proton. And those substances are called as amphoteric substances. As you can see over here, that amphoteric substances can act as either an acid or a base, because they both have a transferable hydrogen and atom with lone pair of electrons. Hydrogen atom to transfer and lone pair to accept. Mostly the water is used as an amphoteric substance. Like here in this first reaction, water is acting as a base. Why? Because it is accepting a proton from the hydrochloric acid and is changing into the hydronium ion. So here water is acting as a base and HCl is acting as an acid. While in another reaction in which ammonia is reacting with the water, here water is donating its proton to the ammonia and it is converting into the ammonium ion and producing hydroxide ions. Here water is acting as an acid and ammonia is acting as a base as it is accepting a proton. So amphoteric substances are those that can behave as an acid and a base as well. Then there are also a few limitations of this concept, that there are certain substances like sulfur dioxide, calcium oxide, carbon dioxide that can behave as an acid, but they have no hydrogen ion or a proton to donate or accept, as they don't have ability to donate a proton. So how can we classify those substances that don't have a proton to donate or an lone pair to accept? Again, this concept was failed to explain this reason. Then there was another concept, that is Lewis concept of acid and bases. And according to this concept, acids are those substances that can accept a pair of electrons to form coordinate covalent bond. Here we have two new things: a pair of electron. Here you have no hydrogen ion or a proton to differentiate that this is the acid or this is the base. Here we are talking about the pair of electron. Another new thing, that is, it is forming a coordinate covalent bond. Lewis base is a substance that can donate a pair of electrons. So acid is a those substance that is accepting a pair of electron and form coordinate covalent bond. While base is a substance that can donate a pair of electron to form a coordinate covalent bond. Like base is donating and acid is accepting. And by donating and accepting, mutually they form a coordinate covalent bond between them. Between both acid and bases, by donating and accepting this pair of electron, they results in the production of coordinate covalent bond. As you can see over here, that there is a boron trifluoride and the fluoride ions, which is actually having an electron pair, and it is donating electron pair to boron so that it may form a coordinate covalent bond with it, and as a result it forms a boron tetrafluoride. As it is donating its electron pair, that's why it is a Lewis base, and it is accepting and forming a coordinate covalent bond, so it is a Lewis acid. Similarly, these are the few other examples of electron pair donors and electron pair acceptors. As you can see, that hydrogen ion is actually accepting a lone pair from the ammonia. So here hydrogen ion is an acid and ammonia is a base, and it is forming that adduct, means that particular compound in which there is a coordinate covalent bond. And then BF3 is accepting a lone pair from ammonia, so it is also an acid, and ammonia is donating, so it is a base. And silver is also an acid and ammonia is a base. Similarly, sulfur trioxide is also an accepting electron pair from water, so the water is a base and sulfur trioxide is an acid. So an acid is an electron pair acceptor and base is an electron pair donor. So these are the different concepts of acid and bases by which we can easily define that how acids can be differentiated from the bases. Although all of these concepts may have some drawbacks, but to some extent they're also giving the exact definition of acids and bases. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for listening.